What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And for today's video, we are actually going to be installing this carbon fiber front lip splitter. So I got to give a big shout out to EVBASE for providing me with this product, guys. And one thing that I briefly have to say is if you are interested in copying any products from the EVBASE website, definitely be sure to use my actual code, which is none other than GLOZEUS, 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 for 20% off your order. So specifically for this carbon fiber splitter right here, it costs about $199 or $200, and with my 20% off code, you're going to get $40 off with that. So this right here is actually going to be the main middle part of the splitter. Then we do have both pieces right here. So we do have both the left and the right sides, and it's actually pretty cool how this looks, but I can't wait to put it together. So now when we actually start looking at some of the other things that are going to be needed for this installation, we do have this piece right here, which is 4 plugs. But interestingly enough, when you look at the front bumper of the Tesla, or more specifically under it, there are 6 pieces, but we only need 4 because this is what's going to be needed to install this actual middle piece safely and correctly. And then something else we get is these multiple pairs of screws right here, which I'll show you guys the necessity of that a little bit later. And then finally, guys, this does not come with the actual installation tools itself, but I 100% recommend to have a flathead screwdriver as well as a Phillips screwdriver. And now, guys, let's just get right into installing these pieces together. All right, guys, so maybe the first question or confusion that people may have is how to identify what is the top or bottom of this front lip splitter right here. So it's actually very easy. This is going to be the top because there are absolutely no screws here, and as I mentioned earlier, with the 4 bottom plug screws, you have it right here. So this is the best way to identify that this is the bottom and this is the top. And then now, if you want to identify what's the right or left side, you see these 2 holes right here. What you're going to want to do is grab your piece, and this would be the right side of it, and then you're going to want to align it and make sure that it goes together just like that. And then this is where we're gonna actually start screwing it together to build the pieces. All right, y'all, so what you're gonna wanna do is get this bag of screws right here and actually take 2 of them to align the right side of the bumper into the middle lip right here. And then we got these 2 screws. And then what I'm gonna recommend again is this Phillips or star head screw, and that's what you're gonna use to actually twist it into the actual main bumper. Now we're gonna need another screw right here. So as you can see, this was the last screw to actually finally lock it in. And then as you can see right here, as I mentioned earlier, we added the 2 screws to make sure that this was aligned as well. So this right side is completely locked in, and now I'm gonna do the same exact thing for the left side. All right, y'all, so as you can see, it took about 6 screws to assemble this, and now we're pretty locked in. So now we're gonna go right into the front of the bumper to install. So normally for these install videos, I would have had the car wash due to the fact that you need it clean for that perfect adhesive fit. However, due to time constraints, due to the weird weather in New York City, because it looks like it's about to rain in a few, I'm going to just manually wipe this down so that we can have that installation be perfectly stuck to the bottom of this bumper right here. So we'll be right back. All right, y'all, so just to show you what it will look like as a finished product, I'm gonna put this right under. Obviously, we need to take off the adhesive and all that type of stuff, but tell me this joint don't look crazy right now. So now, guys, one more thing that we have to do is actually use this flathead screwdriver and take out the 4 plugs and then install these new plugs to get the bottom connected. And then with that being said, that's pretty much it. So let's get right into the install. All right, y'all, so since this is a tight area, I'm gonna use my cell phone right here to record what's actually going on under. So as I mentioned, there's actually about 6 screws under here, but we're only gonna wanna get the front 4 in the center area right here. So I'm gonna go to this first one right here. I think this is screw number, let's see. Yep, that should be the first one to take out. And we're gonna use this flathead. This is very similar to what we did with the mud flap installation, and it's very quick to pop out. All right, that should be good. Let me take it out a little bit more. Okay. That's one. So that, let's go to the next one. Okay. Let me use this. There we go. 2, 3. Okay. Then this should be the 4th and final one that we need. Okay. And that's pretty much it. What we're gonna actually wanna do now is remove all of the adhesive that is actually on this front splitter right here. So, pretty much gonna pull all of this off. Take all of that under. Take all of this. It's gonna be a lot of stickiness. And since we cleaned it, it's going to be a very good install. So again, big shout out to EVBASE. I appreciate y'all so much. And I appreciate everybody who watches this video and use my promo code at the checkout. It's, you know, I can't even explain how much you guys have helped me out so far. And I'm very grateful for these opportunities that I've been having. So shout out to all y'all. Got a couple more to take out. That was the last of it. So now we're gonna make sure that we carefully align this together because we do not want it to mess up or not be in the center. We're gonna slowly do this. Make sure this goes all the way in. This goes all the way in. And you wanna start putting some pressure into it, just like that. And the same thing on the opposite side. What you're gonna wanna do is just keep applying some pressure. Let all the sticky parts get right into it. Yep. You're gonna hear like these kind of like clicking noises, which means it's definitely getting aligned with it. So now with this being all the way locked in, we wanna add these 4 final clips to have that full closure and safety for the actual splitter itself. And I'm just gonna plug it in right here. And then this way, we can just have it fully locked in. All right. All right, y'all, so that's gonna conclude the installation of this carbon fiber front splitter, guys. Definitely let me know how it looks to y'all. I think it looks absolutely amazing and definitely adds a very beautiful look to the car, but it also serves a functional purpose just due to the fact that this does help with a lot of aerodynamics, keeping the car flat to the ground, helps with speed and all that type of stuff. And again, it just looks great. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family and all that. And definitely be sure to use my EVBASE code. Shout out to EVBASE. And one more time, it is GLOZEUS, GLOZEUS, GLOZEUS. And with that being said, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.